Hello and welcome to the Writecome.com podcast, where we help you to make money from your words. Each episode will be sharing tips, tricks, and strategies you can use to make more money from your writing, publishing, and marketing to your fans and audience. Let's get started with your host, Barry J. McDonald.
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very welcome to today's podcast episode from Writecome.com. And today's podcast episode is entitled Making Money with Your Body. Now, before you think I want you to go out and stand on a street corner and become a hooker or a sex worker or whatever, no, I don't mean that. Maybe just explain it a little bit better for you. At the moment, I am sitting here in our local Gaelic football field in the car park. And this past couple of days, we've had a bit of snow, which happens rarely, but we've had snow a couple of days ago, and at the moment now it's beginning to turn into slush. It's raining now at the moment, so it's a kind of damp, it's a cold, and it's a miserable morning. And if I look across the road here, I can actually see there is a brand new housing estate being built right beside the GAA pitch. And right now, at the moment, there are a couple of builders who are standing up on scaffolding. Now, they are standing there with their waterproofs, but they're working away in this weather. So they're working in miserable weather. You know, it's cold, it's damp, and I'm sure they would probably rather be, working anywhere else. And unfortunately, a lot of the older generations, that is how they have made money. Maybe you've done it yourself. I know I have done it myself. When I used to stack shelves in our local supermarket at night time, I was making money with my body. If my body didn't turn up to work, I didn't get paid, and I only got paid for however often my body was in the store actually stacking those shelves with those cans and jars or whatever. And the same goes with these builders here too as well. There is a limit on what they can actually do with their bodies. There is a limit on how many hours they can actually work. There's a limit on how many years service they can actually get out of that body. I'm sure as the people, those builders up there, get older, they're not going to want to do building as often because maybe they've got aches and pains and maybe they've got bad backs and all those different things. So slowly over time, their bodies are going to break down and they're not going to be able to put in the work because of that. And because of that, then their bodies or their earnings are going to suffer almost in the same kind of proportion. And unfortunately, as I said, a lot of the older generations of people, I include myself in that, we do, think that the only way you can make money is making it with your body. You have people, when we've gone through school, I remember when I went through school, a lot of the things you were probably told by your teacher was to go ahead and, become a doctor or become a nurse, or maybe go and get an apprenticeship to become a plumber or a carpenter or something like that, because those were safe jobs and those were jobs that people needed you for. Now, you can earn a lot of money being a doctor. You can earn a lot of money in some businesses. But again, those businesses require you to be there. Your body needs to be on the premises to earn a wage. Even if you are the greatest surgeon in the world, you can only actually be paid for how often you are actually in the operating theatre and the hours you have clocked up. Because if your body doesn't turn up today, you're not getting paid. If your body is sick, you're not getting paid. If your body is like these builders here, if it does start deteriorating over time, if you do get an injury, well then you're not earning money. So what I want you to do is think about how you are earning at the moment. Are you earning money with your body? Do you need to show up every day? And if that is the case, what happens then maybe if you get too old? What happens maybe if you get an injury? Or what happens, if, you get sick for a while or whatever and your body isn't able to show up and do that work? Now, at the moment there is an explosion of, social media, YouTube and everything at the moment. There's a lot of kids who have gone into that. And now at the moment, there's probably a generation of kids who are probably earning far more than their parents did. I'm sure like some of those YouTubers are earning thousands of dollars or thousands of pounds a month, and they have long surpassed what their parents have, made in their previous jobs. And in some cases, they probably have bought their parents' houses, they probably have paid off their mortgages, and they probably have helped out. And it's because this new generation isn't relying on their bodies, they're relying on their mind instead. A lot of the kids at the moment who are making a lot of money have either podcasts, they have either huge YouTube channels, they have products, they have training videos, and they have all those different things and merchandise and all that, and they are actually leveraging off that to make an income. And because their body doesn't need to be there, because that it's recorded once, it's written once, it is videoed once, that can be replayed over and over and over again. So the body that did show up to record that video or to record that podcast episode or to write that book or whatever, that body did need to show up for a couple of hours to put in the work and do it. But that time and that that hour of work or that book or that podcast can be leveraged over and over and over again. And that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of moving into things like that, where I am recording training courses and then I am recording podcasts and things like that, is because I want to do something once and I want to be able to leverage it over and over again. In this case, the podcast will probably direct traffic back to my website or maybe some product that I might be advertising or promoting in a podcast episode. But for the few moments I am sitting here in this cold car on this wet and frosty and damp morning, I am going to be leveraging this over and over again in the weeks, months and years ahead. So God knows when you could be listening to this podcast episode. It could be 2 years, it could be 10 years from now, but this is only 10 minutes out of my life, and this is the kind of 10 minutes my body needed to show up to do that. So what I want you to do today is keep in mind, what you are doing right now. How are you earning your money? Is it money that you are earning with your body? Does your body need to show up to work today? Does it need to clock in? Does it need to do a particular type of work? And just keep in mind, if your body doesn't show up today, how is your earnings going to be affected? If your body gets sick, if you get an injury or whatever, how is your earnings and everything going to be, and your work going to be affected by you not showing up? So if you find maybe that a lot of your earnings is kind of tied up in your body showing up every day, maybe think about starting to do something where it's going to be, you are going to leverage things that have come from your mind. So again, podcast episodes, maybe YouTube channels, maybe videos or training courses or whatever. Is there any way you can put your expertise and your advice and your wisdom or whatever, your tips and tricks or whatever, into one of those things that can be leveraged over and over and over again? So you can lie in bed today, you don't even need to get up, your podcast could be taking care of everything for you, or your YouTube channel could be taking care of you for you. Or maybe you write maybe a couple of fiction books or a couple of non-fiction books, and they could be doing all the work for you, but your body doesn't need to be showing up to do that. So keep that in mind. Again, as I said, this was something that I had heard on the Randy Gage podcast, and I highly recommend, if you do like podcasts, is to do a search on iTunes or whatever for Randy Gage. That's RANDYGAGE, and Randy has a prosperity podcast. And while it does talk a lot of kind of prosperity and ways of making money, he does kind of, it does make me kind of rethink what I'm doing, and does sound kind of, make me expand my ideas and thinking. So I'd like to give Randy full credit to this podcast, because, when I do look back at when I have earned money in the past, it has been with my body, and because of that I have been limited by it. And as I said, the new generation coming through, they are exploding in their earnings because they aren't relying on their body to do the work. So as always, if you'd like to reach out to me, or if you'd like to find more about Rightcome, if you want to head over to rightcome.com, that's WRITECOME.com, or if you'd like to ask me anything, or if you'd like to reach out by email, you can send an email to barryjmcdonald@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to become affiliate of Rightcome, if you would like to maybe earn 50% on all the products that I've made, all the training courses and everything I do in the writing and self-publishing world, if you want to go over to Rightcome, again WRITECOME.com/copy, COPY, and you'll find a great you'll find a great free report over there, which will help you get set up as an affiliate and how you can earn 50% commissions on all the products that I have created on the Rightcome site. So as always, I hope I've helped somebody today. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like more from the Rightcome.com podcast, be sure to subscribe now for more tips, tricks, and ideas you can use to make more money from your words. See you in the next episode.